What's up, everybody? It is Doug, and welcome to a throwback edition of Spooky Villages. Today, I've got a retired Lemax Spooky Town piece, an old one, and this is going to be a little bit of fun because people, a lot of times, they talk about, they miss the old style of Lemax Spooky Town, or maybe it's gotten too cartoonish. And while there are a lot of older cartoonish pieces, there are some more traditional spooky ones, and that's what we're going to talk about here. It's less bells and whistles and more design, spookiness, traditional Halloween fare. I'm excited to talk about it. I've got the Greaves Manor. Here we have the box for this one. So Greaves Manor came out in 2000, retired 2008. That's according to the Lemax Spooky Town website. So this is one of the OG style Spooky Town pieces that kind of, it was around for when Spooky Town was fledgling, basically, in the early 2000s when it started to get popular. This one was here, and it had quite a long production cycle. 8 years, I think, is pretty long in regards to Halloween Village production. So let's get into the box and let's talk about the Greaves Manor. All right, guys, here it is, Greaves Manor. I had actually never seen one of these before picking this up. This is actually a Facebook Marketplace find. And I have to tell you guys, man, this year I've been looking for local deals. It is hard to find any Spooky Town on Facebook Marketplace this year. I don't know what if people are just gobbling up the good stuff, but last year I wound up getting, I had some good scores. This year has been very tricky so far. So who knows if that'll change? I hope so. But Greaves Manor, I think I got this one for like $40, which is, for an old retired Spooky Town piece, pretty cool. As you can see here, this is an old style haunted house. Now, this is a traditional style house. It doesn't have a bunch of craziness going on. It does have a pretty cool animation and how it's lit. I think it's pretty cool. Before talking about the building here, I'll talk about the logistics of it. It comes with a power supply here, and let me grab the other part. You can see it's got an adapter here. A lot of the older Spooky Town pieces would do this. This adapter, it actually plugs in to this right here via this, and then you turn the switch on right here. This one actually also came with an extra light, which is right here. There's a light like this that goes in the bottom here. Hopefully you can see that. I'm not going to pull that out on camera, but it actually comes with an extra light here. All right, so the details. I'll show you what it looks like lit up here with the animation going on it. But again, this is very old school Lemax Spooky Town. I'll get closer here. Beautiful detail. The windows have little spider webs on them. The inside scene is awesome. I'll talk about that in a moment. But the other details here, I like how this house, it's got two pumpkins, so it gets the Halloween vibe, right? That's the thing. A lot of the haunted houses, they don't have pumpkins, and they kind of just look like haunted houses. I know maybe some don't like that, but I like how it ties in the Halloween theme. Then you've got this cellar here up front with this monster hand coming out. Very cool. The paint job on this, look at this. This is very Department 56 style. Sorry, I see a couple of these little white pieces of the styrofoam. They're not all quite off there. That's just from the packing. So no soundtrack here, but this looks very cool as the ghosts move through the house. It is not a very brightly lit piece. Now, I don't know if that's because the bulb is dim or older or whatever. I don't know if that's how it was against my first time seeing it, but just be, aware it's not going to be like, it's not crazy bright, but it looks very spooky, very eerie. It has a very nice ambiance. This would be great to put up on a hill, like the haunted house on a hill, right? And so when people talk about they miss kind of the old days of Spooky Town when things were a little more scary and less cartoonish, this is the type of piece that they were talking about. Now, there's some disagreement I have with a lot of that because I think a lot of the older pieces too that are really well remembered, again, like the Torture Factory, there's a little bit of silliness to that, even though I guess the Torture Factory is very macabre and scary, even if the premise of it is silly. But this one, it doesn't have the bright colors. It's very muted. It looks like an old, worn out haunted house. And of course, the ghosts inside. It's a cool animation. It's kind of understated, frankly. And it looks very, very cool, very atmospheric. So if you're a newer collector and you're wondering, what is it when people are talking about that old style? It's this. Now, I think this style of building is it's closer in design to Department 56, because Department 56 in general kind of goes for that more realistic tone, and that's what this is. As time went on, Spooky Town got more brightly lit, kind of more cartoonish, just on the whole. Not like that with every building though, but kind of on the whole. So I do kind of agree, I guess, with that. But in my opinion, I think that's worked out for Spooky Town's favor because Department 56 is, is more muted and realistic, and I think it's good they're different. And I think a lot of people like the exaggerated features of where Lemax Spooky Town has gone. But this is a very classic haunted house. You can find this for a good price. I've seen this online. It won't break the bank. This one I got for $40 local on Facebook Marketplace. I think it's very atmospheric. It's very, very good for those wanting a traditional style haunted house. It's a little bit smaller. Just be aware of that. But a lot of the older Lemax, like the Trick or Treat and haunted houses, those type of buildings, the older ones especially were a little bit smaller than maybe some of the modern ones. It's not out of scale or anything wacky, but it just is a smidge smaller. You want to be aware of that. All right, guys. Hey, that's the Greaves Manor. Hope you enjoyed this old school review. I'm trying to find more pieces local just because you can get a better deal on them local and you don't have to worry about shipping. And you can also check them out in person to make sure that you're, it's not busted or something like that. You always want to do that. Let me know what you guys think of the Greaves Manor. I think it's a very cool old haunted house. Looking forward to incorporating this in my display. Got it for a great price, and I loves me some classic Lemax Spooky Town. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you soon.